For cheap and reliable MT, head over to aoa.com and use coupon code JACOB for 3% off. Yo, what is going down, everybody? It's Unbeatable Jacob, and today we are going to be comparing, to me, the best two centers available in NBA 2K20. We got George Mikan, Kristaps Porzingis. George Mikan, Kristaps Porzingis. Both cards are very different. I kind of want to go over some of the key differences to kind of make you decide which one best fits you offensively and defensively based on your play style. So first thing I want to go over is the shooting. For Kristaps, for his base card, he is going to have an 82 mid and an 82 3. He has two Hall of Fame shooting badges, pick and popper, which is great, pump fake, which isn't incredible. Catch and shoot on gold is cool, and he has a few other silvers and bronzes as well. Brook Lopez base. Now, this is not as good of a jump shot as it was last year on Kristaps Porzingis because he did have a different base last year. And I actually am not a big fan myself, to be honest with you. I find the green window to be very small, and he does not shoot like Kristaps Porzingis has shot in previous 2Ks this year. And now for Mikan. He does have 2 points lower in the three-point shot rating, but a much higher midi. And the badges, to me, even without the Hall of Fames, are much better because he does have flexible release, he does have hot zone hunter, and he does have them both on gold. Catch and shoot as well. So personally, with the base that Kristaps has, I feel like Mikan is by far the better shooter. So let's check out some gameplay. So to start with Kristaps, as I mentioned, this Brook Lopez base is not really that amazing. The green window seems small. He only has hot zones in one area behind the three-point line, and it's really not in a very likely shot to be shooting threes with your center. Most of the times if I'm taking threes with my center, it's from the top of the key or in the corner. So that one hot zone, I would rather have anywhere else on the court for him. So I shoot in a lot of earlies right now. It's kind of just all over the place mostly. I'm not consistently early. I'm not consistently late. And that is because it seems as if this jump shot does have a small green window. The pick and popper Hall of Fame badge will help him hit more shots. But overall, it's been kind of a letdown compared to what I've been used to with other Kristaps Porzingis cards in previous 2Ks. George Mikan, on the other hand, has hot zones in both corners for three-pointers, which is actually perfect for somebody who runs a 5-out offense, which is essentially always going to be the meta in 2K, and the release just seems a little bit more smooth for me. His mid-range is higher, so he's going to be able to hit a little bit more consistently. He has the flexible release badge, so when you can't really green a shot like I can't right now, he's going to hit more whites. He's going to be able to compensate for people who really don't know his jump shot too well. And overall, I have better luck shooting with George Mikan from the mid and three-pointer than I do with Kristaps Porzingis. And now, while we're here in freestyle, I'm going to show you guys a few different of the post-move animations that these guys get. I do not play in the post all too often with my centers. I am more of a 5-out, run to the rim with my guards, look for pick and pop, stuff like that type of player. That's mostly the meta, but I'll just show you guys kind of what they're working with in the paint. I believe Kristaps actually, despite having lower ratings, is a better player in the paint offensively, and that is just because he is a lot taller than George Mikan. So he's going to be able to post people up down here despite his strength. He's going to be able to get that kind of shot over shorter defenders, and certain moves sometimes work out pretty efficiently for him. The biggest problem is his strength is quite low, so he's not really going to be able to bully anybody down there. And now, despite the fact that George Mikan is quite a bit shorter, his rating for strength is much higher. Therefore, you're going to be able to get a lot more of a bully ball style of post-up with Mikan. You're going to be able to shove weaker defenders out of the way, and that mostly makes up for the height difference. However, I'm a pretty firm believer that if you are consistently trying to post up with any 6'10" player in 2K, and that's kind of one of your go-to offensive moves, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, you might be able to beat up on some, relatively bad players doing that. You might get a mismatch every now and again that will work out in your favor. But overall, I find shooting to be much more important for my 5. At this stage in the game, dribbling with your center is really not going to be something that is going to work out too well for you. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over any of their full court dribble sigs or animations. I'm just going to kind of break down what I see when I move with these players. So Kristaps, when dribbling, he seems a little bit slower, but he's a little bit more elusive, if that makes any sense. Mikan is more in the box with his dribbles, where Kristaps kind of will stretch out on his crossovers and behind the backs and stuff like that, and seems to get a little bit more space off of his simple step back here. As I mentioned, Mikan is a little bit more in the box, kind of doesn't take the ball too far out of his frame, but it's not terrible. Like I mentioned, it's not a deal breaker at this stage in the game. Neither of these guys are going to be able to speed boost. His step back seems kind of slow. His crossovers seem kind of slow. But at this stage in the game, none of this really matters, to be quite honest with you. And now let's talk about some defense. For Kristaps, he has an 82 interior, and that is quite a bit lower than what we're going to see on Mikan here. Mikan's is a 95. He does have a few different badges for rebounding, but nothing all too crazy. However, he is 7'3", which is always going to be a plus on defense, so he definitely is not too bad in the paint. However, neither of these cards are really going to be locked down on the perimeter. So for me, Mikan is by far the better paint defender, as his interior defense rating is near maxed at 95, and he has all of the badges on gold to back it up. He's going to have Heart Crusher, Defensive Leader, Intimidator, he's got Box, he's got Chase Down Artist and Worm, he's got Rim Protector. I mean, he really has all of the best badges that you can have on a center on gold. The only one that I really wish he did have was Interceptor on his base card, because for me, being able to pick off passes and lanes is huge. His arms are not going to be as long as Porzingis, so overall I think if you're trying to bait lanes, Porzingis is going to be the better move. However, I'm taking Mikan on Porzingis over defense as well. So overall, when comparing these two cards, I believe that both of them are great at this stage in the game. However, I think the clear-cut favorite is George Mikan. He is shorter, but however, with a better jump shot, with the better stats and badges to back it up, I think that he is by far the better card overall. The only time that I could find Kristaps to be maybe the better center for you is if you are very comfortable with the Brook Lopez base, or if you are just very set on not using small centers. Overall, I think Mikan is the answer. If you guys can, grind out Dom for him while he's still relevant, because I believe that he is the best center in this game, and I think that he should be a staple on every team at that starting center spot. Thanks.